Good day everyone, I am Tabanao Justine Balbon from Negros Oriental State University, Mabinay Campus in the course of Bachelor of Elementary Education 3rd year. Task 4 is to make a research and compare the two countries, which is the Philippines and the chosen country of your, and to answer the following questions. So first question is, what is the teacher's qualification? Second is professional engagement and support for teachers. And third is a sample faculty development program. And fourth is what is their organizational structure. First question is, what is the teacher's qualification? The Philippines and the chosen country of yours. The standard teaching credential in the Philippines is a 4-year bachelor's degree. Elementary school teachers are qualified through a Bachelor of Elementary Education, and secondary school teachers through a Bachelor of Secondary Education. The curriculum for both these programs are tailored to the level of education and is set by Commission for Higher Education, and it consists of general education subjects, education-related subjects, subject specialization, and practical teaching. For those with a bachelor's degree in other fields can also qualify to becoming a teacher by completing a postgraduate program in education. These postgraduate programs range from 1 semester to 1 year in length and are completed by awarding a credential most commonly referred as the Certificate of Professional Education. Becoming a public school teacher in the Philippines requires dedication, passion, love, and patience. Teaching is a noble profession, as many have said. So, in becoming a teacher in Philippines, you need to take a Bachelor in Elementary Education, Bachelor in Secondary Education major. Becoming a classroom teacher in the Philippines requires passion, dedication, love, and patience. The first step is to earn a 4-year degree diploma in education, either elementary or secondary education major. Well, there are many universities and colleges that offer this course across the country, and you just have to select the best school for you and have to qualify on its entrance examination and other standards. Once you are qualified and enrolled, you really have to study well to earn the degree. Second, take and pass the board licensure examination for professional teachers. After earning your degree in education major, you are now ready to take another step on becoming a licensed professional teacher. In the Philippines, Professional Regulation Commission is the agency tasked to conduct a board examination to aspiring professionals like teachers. The process of application to take board examination licensure for professional teacher is quite easy. However, due to bulk of applicants, you have to provide yourself a bunch of patience. Upon completion of the application process and getting your permit for the examination, you just have to wait for the scheduled examination. Typically, if you are an elementary education major, the examination is only good for about 4 to 5 hours. But if you are a secondary education major, the examination would last up to 8 hours. The examination is composed of 3 major components, namely general education, professional education, and majorship. The first 2 components are the only ones to be taken by elementary teachers, aspirants, while secondary school teachers have to take all components. Third is process your license and other documents at PRC. If you are blessed to pass the exam, you are now a licensed professional teacher. The next step is to process your license and documents. like Certificate of Ratings, Certificate of Good Standing, and Certificate of Passing. These are necessary on your application on becoming a government school teacher. The processing agency for these documents is still the Professional Regulation Commission. So you have to visit the nearest PRC office to you. Fourth is process your application at DepEd. Typically, application for teachers in Department of Education starts on January to March. You just have to be resourceful enough to know the details about it. Sometimes the memorandum on application process is posted earlier. Generally, the guidelines every year is the same requirements and criteria. The usual process include demonstration teaching, interview, English proficiency test, and demonstration of special skills. To be qualified and be included in the Registry of Qualified Applicants or RQA, you have to earn the minimum required points, 75 points. Being in the Q&A does not guarantee you are hired already. Upon qualifying in the set standards of application process, you have to wait a call or letter from DepEd informing you that you are hired. If no letter arrive after a couple of months, it means you are not hired due to some reasons. You may want to visit the office where you process your application to verify such. And fifth is process your appointment. If you reach this step, it means you are now a certified public school teacher. You have just processed to some more documents for your official appointment. Some requirements needed in your appointment are GSIS number, 10, land bank account, CCC forms, and other related documents. The personnel section of the division office is responsible for giving you instruction on this matter. So in Brazil, the teacher's qualification is, first you need to have a TFL certification. A TFL is a Teach English as a Foreign Language certification. Is required to teach English in Brazil. Getting TEFL certified will provide you with a relevant training and qualification. You need to get hired by a reputable school in Brazil and should leave you feeling confident in your abilities to provide ESL lessons to your students. Second is language requirements. If you are a qualified non-native English speaker, you can be considered for ESL teaching jobs in Brazil. Non-natives will be expected to be fluent in English and speak at a native level. Although not required, native language speakers with citizenship from the US, UK, Ireland, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, or South Africa may still be preferred by some employers. A bachelor's degree is not required to teach in Brazil, and your TEFL certification should be enough to successfully gain employment. As an ESL teacher, please note while a bachelor's degree is not a requirement, some employers may still prefer that you have one and you should be prepared for a more competitive job search without one. Your TEFL certification training will provide you with the relevant qualifications you need to get hired by a language school in Brazil. Any reputable TEFL certification course should include a mandatory practicum component to help gain first-hand experience practice, teaching with real non-native English speakers. This will prepare you for the classroom and leave you feeling confident in your ability to deliver well-structured ESL lessons to your students. This practice teaching can count as a teaching experience and should be highlighted on your resume. In order to teach in Brazil, most teachers will require TEFL certification in some cases. A bachelor's degree is preferred but not required in Brazil. Second question is professional engagement and support of teacher. So in Philippines, as government employees, DepEd teachers get all the benefits that come with being a public servant in the Philippines. In addition, DepEd teachers also get additional financial incentives and benefits that are unique to their nature of work. You may refer to the list below for the incentives and benefits of DepEd public school teachers in the Philippines. So first, basic employment benefits, PhilHealth membership, health insurance for hospitalization, and annual physical exam, GSIS benefits or retirement and life insurance plan, vacation credits, leave privilege like maternity leave, paternity leave, and study leave. Second is performance-based bonus annual. The performance-based bonus is annual incentive given to all government employees who have been assessed to have contributed to the accomplishments of the unit he or she belongs to. In the case of DepEd teachers, the unit is the school he or she belongs to. Third is productivity enhancement incentive. In addition to the PBB, DepEd teachers may also receive their annual PEI. Contrary to some resources online, the PEI amount is not fixed. Instead, the amount depends on the level of savings inquired and authorized by the national government to fund the PEI. This means that the amount you will receive will vary depending on these factors. Fourth is personal economic relief allowance or PERA annual. This is another allowance given to all government employees to augment their take-home pay for the rising cost of living in the country. The bonus amount is 2,000 pesos per month regardless of rank or performance. This totals to 24,000 pesos per year given to all teachers. These are talks to increase the amount of PERA. However, the laws for these proposals have not been passed yet. So fifth is mid-year and year-end bonus plus cash gift. Regular DepEd teachers are also entitled to receive two bonuses every year to add to their basic teacher's pay. This includes mid-year bonus and year-end bonus. 6 is clothing allowance. DepEd teachers are required to wear the standard department uniform as mandated Department of Education. To pay for the uniform, DepEd teachers are given 6,000 pesos every year, which comes in the summer break. Seventh is teaching supplies allowance or chalk allowance. Aside from uniform, teachers also need to pay for the supplies that they use for class. They are compensated for this through for the chalk allowance, formally named as the teaching supplies allowance. The amount may change annually, but for 2001, the amount is 5,000 pesos given out at around the start of the school year. 8 is special hardship allowance. This is given to teachers who are assigned to hardship posts and is equality to 25% of the teacher's basic pay. Hardship posts, according to the Department of Budget Maintenance, refer to assignments in areas characterized by extremely hard, uncomfortable, and extreme difficulties. The eligibility of allocation as a hardship post is determined by 0 to 1 index called the hardship index. The higher the index score of allocation, the higher its degree of difficulty or hardship. The index is affected by the following factors: time of travel between school and division office, human violence, availability of temporary learning, spaces, and level of poverty assessed to basic amenities, and ninth is long-term incentive. This is given to any permanent teacher or non-teaching employee who has served in the department for at least 10 years and has a minimum of satisfactory rating in all of those years. A teacher may receive 10,000 pesos in his or her first 10 years and 5,000 pesos every 5 years after that if eligible. To be eligible, they must not incur more than 50 days of cumulative authorized vacation leaves without pay in the first 10 years. For the succeeding 5 years, they must not use more than 25 authorized vacation leave without pay. Next is step increment or salary increase. Aside from the loyalty cash bonus discussed above, a DepEd teacher may also be eligible for the step increment. This is an increase in the salary of the teacher within his or her salary grade. This step increment salary increase is given out to employees who receive a minimum of satisfactory rating for 3 consecutive years. And ika-10 is professional vacation pay. The professional vacation pay refers to the amount received by the teacher during school breaks, April, May, and December. The amount that a teacher receives in this break period depends on how many absences they may have incurred in the school year. If a teacher did not use any leave credit for the entire school year, he or she will get the full for break periods. The number of days paid by PVP is usually 70 days per year. However, this may change according to the length of school breaks for the particular year. So while in Brazil, each school or department has a different culture regarding teaching practices, and the students who participates in the programs needed to be properly engaged in order to get the very best out of this opportunity and to ensure peers attending the corresponding course also perceive the benefits. Another huge positive is that it can help faculty members with their teaching workloads. It is worth noting, however, the fundamental part of the programs is that teaching assistants are under constant evaluation and that the faculty members meet regularly to discuss the work and ensure the excellence in teaching required by a university. Overall, the teaching assistant programs have several advantages. So first, they provide additional teaching resources in order to enhance the quality of learning for all students. Second is students selected to serve as a teaching assistants. In order to receive a one-day orientation and 3 half-day seminars about their role and responsibilities. Although this is it is a formal introduction to a key role that is not often referred in university curriculum. Third, for graduate teaching assistants, participation in a classroom and teaching activities, it provides a good training. This training has been proven to give teaching assistants an advantage later on their careers when they apply for positions in academic institution. And fourth, the scholarship provide monetary remuneration and serve as a financial assistance to the recipients. Finally, the programs offer undergraduate and graduate students the opportunity to study their subject more in a depth so that they can teach it to others. Faculty program in Philippines. Sample of faculty development program in Philippines is the process of providing educational and coaching to faculty members to help them improve their work performance, particularly in the areas of teaching, grant writing, and conducting research. Learn the global scholar challenges and opportunities of working with transitional faculty in higher education. In development, it is the process of providing professional development training and coaching to faculty members to help them improve their work and performance, particularly in specific areas such as teaching and research. The Department of Education, DepEd, on October 23 launched the Professional Development Program on Assessment and Emerging Literacies with focus on PISA or Assessment PD in line with its commitment to improve the quality of basic education in the basic education in the Philippines. Attended by teacher participants all over the country, the launch kickstarts the assessment, which forms part of the department's ongoing preparations for its participation in the 2002 cycle of the Program for International Student Assessment. The assessment PD aims to improve teachers' assessment strategies, methods, and content, knowledge in math, science, and reading, and to help them align their classroom practices with emerging literacies measured by international assessment. As we work towards improving quality through Sulong Edukalidad, we recognize the urgent needed up to skill and reskill our teachers so that they will be equipped to meet the changing standards, landscape, and context of basic education. Secretary Leonor Magtulis Briones said she added our own national, regional, and even local assessments strategies have to be aligned with such methodologies and literacies in international assessments. The Office of the Secretary worked in collaboration with the Bureau of Education Assessment, the Bureau of Learning Delivery, assessment experts, and partner, National Educators Academy of the Philippines, on NEEFP accredited learning services providers, specifically the assessment, curriculum, and technology and research. The Center for Educational Measurement and INC and Front Learners INC in development of the PD. The program consists of 5 component courses, namely Enhancement of Teachers' Assessment, Competencies, and Assessment of Learning in DepEd. Third, the Philippine K-12 Curriculum and the International Large-Scale Assessment. Adapting assessment principles and practices, the emerging literacies, and monitored application of assessment practice in the classroom setting. During the roundtable discussion, Dr. Marian Fredo of the ECTRC explained the rationale behind this initiative. This PD gives teachers a chance to move to a higher level of assessment practice as they unpack the curriculum. We at ECTRC believe that assessment is for teaching. It's because if assessment information and data based on evidence are used appropriately, then our students will learn and demonstrate their true proficiency. Teachers will be able to monitor learning correctly, and students will be able to engage with relevant learning opportunities. The program will cater to grade 8 and grade 9 English, science, and math teachers in public junior high schools nationwide and will run from October 2021 to April 2002. Addressing the teacher participants, Secretary Briones emphasized that through this professional development program, we hope to provide opportunities to enhance your assessment strategies, methods, and practices using and to empower you to explore innovative ways to implement them in the classroom. While in Brazil, their sample faculty program, the purpose of this 6-week certificate program is to offer language, English enrichment, and professional training. It is designed specifically for high school English teachers from Brazil to strengthen teachers' English language proficiency, with emphasis on conversational fluency and pronunciation, enhance teachers' English language teaching capabilities in the Brazilian high school. It context and to foster opportunities for the teachers to network with US ESL faculty members and education specialists. It offered the cultural experiences of US campus life and opportunities for cultural and social activities in the US Midwest, and this program emphasized conversational fluency including prosody, partial stress, intonation, etc., case segmental such as vowels, oral grammar, and organization. The course will also focus on pedagogical strategies starting with the language of classroom management. Other pedagogical strategies include the ability to use English to introduce, define, explain, and demonstrate the relationships among key concepts. In the teacher's discipline, it focused on the Brazilian teachers, English pronunciation. Teachers will do a variety of exercise to increase awareness of American English pronunciation. They will also work on pronunciation of sounds compared to those of a native speaker. The course includes discussion on what is learned in the course that could be adapted into lessons for their students. The program will introduce a variety of strategies for student communication and engagement in English as a foreign language. As a foreign language teaching, participants will familiarize themselves with various lessons and teaching approaches in listening, speaking, and pronunciation accuracy and fluency. Educational technology course will primarily be preparing a final program project that can be digitally uploaded, promoted, and disseminated to other teachers. The course will use a workshop format with a lot of practical project work and feedback during the sessions. Participants will attend lectures on topics of interest to EFL teachers in Brazil. Sessions will focus on areas of curriculum and instruction for EFL students. Ample time will be reserved for a group discussion. Another faculty development program in Brazil is to enhance their TEFL or the teaching English in foreign language. It will focus on a variety of methods and materials that can be used to teach English and will include how to integrate technology into language classes. It will survey current methods and best practices in the teaching of English skills and provides opportunities for the participants to develop materials and lesson plans based on the teaching principles presented and discussed in class. Next is TEFL assessment and evaluation. It will provide an overview of principles, best practices, and issues involved in the testing of English skills in the classroom. Participants will have an opportunity to develop assessment instruments related to the materials that they are developing and their methods and materials course. Organizational structure. In Philippines, the Department of Education transition teams led by Secretary Leonor Magtoles and Vice President-elect and incoming DepEd Secretary Sara Duterte. Sa Office of the Secretary, Sara Z. Duterte, Vice President and Secretary, Chief of Staff under Public Affairs Service, Internal Audit Service, Planning Service is headed by Ipima V. Densing III, Undersecretary and Chief of Staff. Youth Affairs and Special Concern under Administrative Service, Baguio Teachers Camp, Central Security and Safety Office, Education, Facilities Division, Information and Communications, Technology Service, Procurement Management Service is headed by Dexter E. Galban, Assistant Secretary, Christian R. Ablan, Undersecretary, Christopher Lawrence is Arnoco is Assistant Secretary. Curriculum and Instruction is under Bureau of Curriculum, Development of Bureau of Learning Delivery, Bureau of Education Assessment, Indigenous Peoples Education, Office Bureau of Learning, Resources Literacy, Coordinating Council, Teachers Education Council, Secretariat Bureau of Alternative Education, Private Education Office is Jose Ernesto B. Gaviola, Undersecretary, and Almar Ruby Estorio, Assistant Secretary, Alternative Learning System, under Bureau of Alternative Education, Bureau of Learning Delivery Indigenous Peoples, Education Office Literacy, Coordinating Council is GHS Amban, Assistant Secretary. Finance under Finance is Finance Service Education Programs, Management Office Government, Assistant and Subsidies Program. Management Office is Annalyn M. Sevilla, Undersecretary, and Omar Alexander V. Romeo, Assistant Secretary. Governance and Field under is Operations Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, Bureau of Learner Support Services, Palarong Pambansa Secretariat is Rev. C.E. Escobedo, Undersecretary, and Francis Cesar B. Bringas, Assistant Secretary. Legal Affairs under is Sites Titling Office, Child Rights and Protection Office is Jose Arturo is De Castro, and Amanda N. Satiag, Assistant Secretary. Human Resource and Organizational Development under is Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development, National Educators Academy of the Philippines, DepEd Employees Association Coordinating Office is Gloria Joma Mel Mercado, Undersecretary. Legislative Affairs and Partnership under Legislative Liaison Office, External Partnership Service, Project Management Service, International Cooperation Office is Gerard L. Chan, Undersecretary. In Brazil, organizational structure in Brazil has had many changes. It first began with Jesuit missions that controlled education for a long time. Then 200 years after their arrival, their powers were limited by the Marquis of Pombal. Shortly after the Joyces' power was limited, the Brazilian government took over education, and it is now run by the government through the Ministry of Education. At that time, the government of President is Fernando Henrique Cardoso, and the Brazilian Ministry of Education is Victor Godoy. Brazilian Association of Distant Education is a learned association founded in Brazil and headquartered in Sao Paulo with the aim of promoting scientific interchange in the fields of distance education, e-learning, and uses of technology in education, teaching, learning, and training, and its founder and current president is Dr. Frederick Lechu. So that's our organizational structure in the Brazil.